Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here, and after being delayed and a little bit of controversy over digital versus physical, the Spyro Reignited Trilogy has finally arrived. Today we're going to take a look at this long-awaited release by Activision and let you know, is it worth it?
We're also drinking a wood-aged brown ale by DogFish Head. Today we're drinking their Palo Santo Marron. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and enjoy this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Alright, we want to come at you real quick and talk about Spyro Reignited. We have not been able to put this game down. We know most YouTubers have already had their episode out covering the game, so this is going to be a quick hitter. Tell everybody what this package is all about.
Well, it's a trilogy, so it comes with the original Spyro, Ripto's Rage, and Year of the Dragon. All three incredible games, and all the games are rebuilt and they use the Unreal Engine.
These games look fantastic. They are huge files. I think it was like almost 70 gigs to get all of this installed, which took a little bit of time. And there was that controversy of digital versus physical. I believe only the first game is on the disc.
It got delayed for a couple months because they were dealing with that digital physical stuff. I was hoping it would all be on the disc. Sadly, I don't think it is because they're so big.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a bummer because I don't know why they didn't make it 2 discs. But you know what? It's a great game. I'm glad we have it, and all that other stuff aside, this game is a beautiful collectathon, and it's a game that you really loved as a kid. I played it a little bit, but you liked it a lot more.
Yeah, I had Year of the Dragon growing up, and I was addicted to that, especially the skateboarding scene. I just remember doing that a bunch as a kid, and I thought it was so hard. But then when we got to that area, I was like, this is kind of easy.
They did a really good job with this game. It flows very well. And the main thing I really like about this trilogy is it really gives Spyro new life in a new generation. The original games, they're pretty tired. They haven't aged well. We've mentioned before that PlayStation N64 era, although it was really fun at the time and really progressive at the time, those games just don't hold up well today, and I think this is gonna maybe, hopefully, give Spyro new life and maybe get some new games and stuff like that.
Yeah, like kids nowadays can now relive childhoods that we had growing up playing Spyro, but they're just now playing it for the first time. And it's awesome because it's HD and it looks beautiful, and like kids aren't gonna be turned off by the blocky graphics of Generation 5 era.
Yeah, they made this game look so good, and it's not a very difficult game either. There's very few buttons, so it's not all that complex. And you can really just run through it and have a really good time. You know, we mentioned it's kind of a collectathon, like, you know, the old Banjo-Kazooies, those first 3-dimensional platformers, but it's very rewarding. We were hung up on the first one. That's where we spent most of our time because we were wanting to 100% every stage, and we were really knocking it out.
Before we advanced, we were like, okay, we need all the gems, we need all the eggs, we need all the dragons. Like, we were just trying to find everything, and sometimes we'd be stuck on a level for so long, but it was worth it. These types of games, I love getting 100% on.
Oh yeah, it's weird. It just that completionist in this, you know. If you're just rushing through to beat the core of the story, I think you're gonna miss a lot of the charm and the essence that this game offers. So you definitely want to make sure you take time and just enjoy the atmosphere, because it's a very, very beautiful game. One thing that stood out to me about all 3 of these games is they play almost identical to each other. Now, admittedly, I'm not a Spyro expert, but I do remember feeling like the games on PS1 had a little bit more differences. They felt a little different in the hand. All of these are almost spitting images of each other with a few other like moves and stuff.
Yeah, so the button layout is the same, which is awesome because you can bounce back and forth between the 3. There is like different abilities you can do in the different games, like you can spit rocks, or you can do like an extra jump at the end of your glide, and there's like a climbing ability in one of the games. So it's kind of cool that they vary in that way, but I love how the button layout is the same.
They did a fantastic job with this. It kind of reminds me of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy they put out, just really breathing life into it. And I feel like Spyro could be a very big beneficiary of this, because I think this character engages very, very well with kids, and I think adults can enjoy it and everything. It's just a great game for everybody to play.
It's a good family game, and Activision did such a great job. And talking about a great job, what do you think about this beer?
The Palo Santo Marron, right? Am I saying it right? By DogFish Head.
Yeah.
It's their wood-aged brown ale. There's a lot of flavor here. Yes. I love the nose. I just love smelling it. There's like kind of a woody and cherry, very earthy smell.
Kind of like a roasted smell, and then there's like hints of vanilla and like caramel in it. and it's really smooth, and it's a really good brown ale.
It is, absolutely. And I don't know that either one of us are huge fans of brown ale. I mean, we're not experts in that realm per se, but this is really good. It's got a good thick mouthfeel. It finishes really sweet. It's really tasty. And we haven't had a lot of beer by DogFish Head.
No, we haven't, and I'm glad that we picked this one up because I want to try more from DogFish Head now. Like, this is a really good beer.
Yeah, they did a great job. So if you're out and about and see this wood-aged brown ale by DogFish Head, you definitely need to pick it up and give it a shot because it pairs very well with gaming.
So let's just wrap up our thoughts. Is this game worth it?
Yeah, in a nutshell, I would say yes, especially if you need something to play right now. There's a ton of games out there to play, but for $39.99, getting 3 full games that actually take a lot of time if you play them right and go to collect everything. But if you're wrapped up in another game, this is a game that will probably go down in price. You'll probably be able to get it used in a couple of years to add to your collection on the cheap.
And it's not one of those games where you need to get it right away, like the new Madden or the new Battlefield. This is a game that you could wait a couple of years and pick it up, and it would still be fun, and it would still hold up, and it would still be beautiful, and you'd still have fun with it. But for $39.99 for 3 games, it's a good price point.
You know, overall, I don't know how Activision could have made this collection any better, other than making it all physical. But we've already beat that drum. So I think these games turned out as good, if not better, than anybody could have possibly imagined. So I'm very happy we picked it up.
I'm so glad we picked it up. And as always, thanks for the continued support and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time on Gaming Off the Grid. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring your bell icon so you never miss it.
Ring your bell icon.
I'll show you a bell icon.
And a little bit of controversy over digital versus physical. The Spyro Reignited... Why do I say keep re-acknowledge?
Reignited.
The Spyro Reignited...
Re-acknowledge.
The Spyro Reignited... God damn it. The Spyro Reignited... God damn it. I got it. I just gotta execute. The Spyro Reignited... The Spyro Reignited... God damn it.
I'm also reading a wood-aged. It's 2 words, okay?
And after a delay, and...
After a rain delay, the game must go on.
And after being delayed and a little bit of controversy over digital versus physical...